I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. And this quote is by Maya Angelou. And I love this quote because it's changed how I interact with other people. As human beings, I've learned as human beings, we really value our emotions. And being aware of this is very practical. We value our emotions more than our logical thinking when it comes to a lot of the decisions we make in our lives. I'm a software developer. My job is very logical by nature. I'm coding all day and I'm trying to figure out solutions to complex problems. So naturally, I think I'm a logical guy. For all the decisions I make in my life, I like to try to come to the logical conclusion of why I should or should not do that thing. I love pros and cons lists, and I try to make one for everything I do. So for example, for a trip, some cons are it costs money, I'm gonna burn through my vacation days, I'm gonna be really tired when I come back if it's like an adventurous trip. Some pros are I could have an epic experience. I could make memories that could last forever. I could bond with the people that I go with. So if the pros overcome the cons, then I'm likely going to take action on it. Also, I make this decision when I have this debate when I go out at night to the bars in the evenings. My logical thinking tells me that I'm too tired and I shouldn't go out and I should be doing something more productive instead. But you know what gets me to go out is when my friends convince me by getting me all excited about it and to get me hyped up. There was this one time they called me. I was sitting alone in my room and they said, Sean, come out. It's going to be epic. It's like all high energy. It's going to be way more fun than just sitting alone in your room like that. And I'm like, no, I'm in a sleep deficit. I don't want to go out. And he's like, you have the rest of your life to sleep. Come out. And I'm like, I'm a little more pumped up at this point, but I'm like, no, I'm going to go to bed. And then he's like, hey, guess what? We're right at your front door right now in front of your apartment. And I'm like, what? I'm shocked at this point. I'm like, who does this? Like, you live like 30 minutes away. What? And he's like, yeah, we're at your front door. Come. So I go to the front door and I open it, and lo and behold, he's standing there with a bottle of liquor, vodka liquor bottle in one hand, and the other hand, he has like a little plastic shot cup filled with like vodka in it. And he's like, surprise, look what I got you. And he shoves like the shot in my face, expecting me to take it. And at this point, I find it hilarious that they show up in my apartment spontaneously like that. But I'm like, you guys are crazy. I'm not going out with you. I already told you. And they try to convince me some more, and then I cave. And I'm like, fine, I'll go out, and I take the shot. And they all cheer, and they're like, yeah. And I go out, and I have a good time. I end up regretting it, though, because that was a weekday night, and I had to wake up early the next morning, and I had to endure an 8-hour workday. So the question is, how on earth did they convince me to go out? Logically, it just was a bad choice. There's so many cons. I'm in a sleep deficit. I got work the next day. I had to endure an 8-hour workday, and alcohol is bad for you. And the only pro was that I went out and had a good time, but I could have just waited until the weekend, and I hung out with those same group of friends before, so it's not like it was a unique experience, so it was like very little upside. So it's like, what happened? It's because they made me feel like it. And I feel like we forget this as human beings. Like, we have feelings, we feel. We're not logical robots who just think all the time like, me. I am a robot. I have work tomorrow morning. I cannot go out tonight. That is not the logical conclusion. Me. And imagine if my friend had called me up and he tried to convince me in a boring way. Like he said, like if he were to go like, hey Sean, come out with us. It's gonna be a good time. Here's some pros and cons list of why you should come out with us. I'm gonna be like, no, I don't wanna go out with you. I got work tomorrow morning. I'm gonna go to sleep. Goodbye. And it's kind of harsh, but this is how we talk to each other. But And another example is when it comes to eating healthy, it's something we all can relate to. We all have heard all the logical advice out there, and we have all the information in order to eat healthy. But what do we do when we when we get on the road and we pass by that Chick-fil-A? We turn around and we get a chicken sandwich, fries, soda, and a milkshake because their milkshakes are so good. And when we bite into that delicious fried chicken sandwich, our brains are releasing all kinds of feel-good chemicals that we're addicted to. We're like, oh yeah, it's just so good when it touches the lips, Yet we know this is so bad for us. A chicken sandwich, fries, sweet tea, milkshake, that's easily like 2,000 calories. We know better. But we don't care because it makes us feel good. And it's just too much for our logical thinking to overcome. So now, whenever I try to convince my friends that hang out with me, I'll try to do it more on an emotional level rather than a logical level. So if I'm trying to convince them to come see a movie with me, instead of like listing the reasons why they'll come, like, hey, this movie has great reviews, it's got 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, it's a thriller movie, it's your favorite genre, right? It's your favorite genre. Instead, I'll try to throw in a couple more jokes, get them laughing, get them feeling good before I do the logical convincing. And for you guys, I think it's good to have this mindset. It's good to account for other people's emotions. It's good to try to give them those good emotions, compliment them, figure out what's important to them and what makes them tick, and try to push that button more. And I'm going to do a little disclaimer. Don't manipulate people. That's not what I'm saying. That's bad. With great power comes great responsibility. Like, listen to Uncle Ben from Spider-Man. when you give people good emotions, do it from a good place. Genuinely want to give them that good value and good experience. Madam Toastmaster.